The Royal Army Service Corps was a corps of the British Army responsible for land, coastal and lake transport, air dispatch, barracks administration, the Army Fire Service, staffing headquarters units, supply of food, water, fuel and domestic materials such as clothing, furniture and stationery, and the supply of technical and military equipment. It became a forming corps of the Royal Logistic Corps. History. For centuries, Army transport was operated by contracted civilians. The first uniformed transport corps in the British Army was the Royal Wagoners, formed in 1794. It was not a success and was disbanded the following year. In 1799, the Royal Wagon Corps was formed. By August 1802, it had been renamed the Royal Wagon Train. This was reduced to only 2 troops in 1818 and finally disbanded in 1833. A transport corps was not formed again until the Crimean War. In 1855, the Land Transport Corps was formed. This was renamed the Military Train the following year. In 1869, there was a major reorganization of Army supply and transport capabilities. Before 1869, supply duties had been the responsibility of the Commissariat, a uniformed civilian body. In 1869, the commissaries of the Commissariat and the officers of the Military Train amalgamated into the Control Department. The following year, the other ranks of the Military Train were redesignated the Army Service Corps, officered by the Control Department. In November 1875, the Control Department was divided into the Commissariat and Transport Department and the Ordnance Store Department. In January 1880, the Commissariat and Transport Department was renamed the Commissariat and Transport Staff, and the Army Service Corps was renamed the Commissariat and Transport Corps. Finally, in December 1888, these two bodies amalgamated with the War Department fleet to form a new Army Service Corps, and for the first time officers and other ranks served in a single unified organization. The ASC subsequently absorbed some transport elements of the Royal Engineers. In 1918, the Corps received the Royal prefix for its service in the First World War and became the Royal Army Service Corps. It was divided into transport and supply branches. Before the Second World War, RASC recruits were required to be at least 5 feet 2 inches tall and could enlist up to 30 years of age. They initially enlisted for 6 years with the Colours and a further 6 years with the Reserve. They trained at Aldershot. Alone among the service's RASC personnel were considered to be combatant personnel. In 1965, the RASC was merged with the Transportation and Movement Control Service of the Royal Engineers to form the Royal Corps of Transport. All its supply functions, along with the staff clerks, were transferred to the Royal Army Ordnance Corps, leaving the new RCT solely responsible for transport and movements. In 1993, the RCT and RAOC were merged to form the Royal Logistic Corps, the modern descendant of the ASC. Ranks. Officers of the Control Department, Commissariat and Transport Department, and Commissariat and Transport Staff held different ranks from the rest of the Army. From February 1885 they were given honorary military ranks, which they held in conjunction with the commissary ranks. Officers of the ASC in RASC held full military rank. Notable personnel. Category: Royal Army Service Corps soldiers. Category: Royal Army Service Corps officers.